All right, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna try to do it quick and give you a lot of information in a little bit of time. One of the biggest questions I get is like, how do you get that space with your vocals? A lot of people that I've worked for and mixed with and doing this for over well a long time. I've learned that getting great vocals is getting the stuff around the vocal to work with the vocal. So we're going to use two things. The first camera I got set up's on this little ultraviolet EQ from SSL. You can do this in the box, but it's a good way for you to hear it. And then I have some 3As I'm going to scoot over. Shout out to Freddie DeMarco. We do a lot of drum sessions and things, and we track things over here, anything from Bob Merlot to rock bands to it doesn't matter. We'll do vocals over here at my spot. So the 3As are over here, so I'm going to use them on a synth. So here's what we hear in context, and I'm going to let you hear it in context first because that's what we're shooting for. We want context. We want it like that's what I always tell people, like mixing is about getting everything to sit well together. It's not just mixing one thing to sound good. You're trying to make everything fit in its space. So I'm going to show you the EQ and what it does, the 3As and what it's doing on this certain song. This is a artist. His name is Abraham James. This is called Beautiful Wreckage, and we're mixing it. And he can probably share it when he drops the song. So we're just going to let you hear three parts of this song. So what you're hearing on screen, if you look here, we have a synth, an acoustic, and a vocal. And here's how they're blending so far. Nothing's permanent. It's just we're creating space. Here we go.
I saw you there, pain in your eyes, too cold to care, too hard to cry. Well, I've been there, wrecked.
Now I'm gonna take off all the EQ that you were just looking at. So I'm gonna bypass this, and then I'm gonna actually bypass the 3As. You'll get to hear that in context. And this is what we had with none of that, but still mixed. So don't think there's nothing on it. But here we go.
I saw you there, pain in your eyes, too cold to care, too hard to cry. Well, I've been there.
Okay, so you can hear in that instance. So what I'm going to show you is how I use the EQ to carve space. You can notice if you listen before and after, and if you need to rewind it, go ahead. But you can hear how everything gets blurred. So use some headphones and listen to it on a head on smaller systems. You're probably going to notice it in the way of headroom. I don't know how to describe that, but like on good headphones, it's just going to sound like it's sort of congested. So listen to it again with nothing on. Then I'll activate everything again and let you listen one more time.
I saw you there, pain in your eyes, too cold to care, too hard to cry.
Okay, so now I'm going to activate the EQ on the acoustic. Watch how the acoustic kicks to the back, and then watch how we create space with the 3As.
I saw you there, pain in your eyes, too cold to care,
Off.
too hard to cry.
On.
Well, I've been there.
So now let's just go with acoustic. Let's take out the synth. And this is how you create space. So the first thing that I noticed on this EQ, so you can see it here. I'm sort of reaching around the microphone and the camera, but this is around I would say 600 hertz, a little bit higher, and I really wanted to cut it. I wanted to get rid of a lot of it, so you're talking 6 7 dB. So I'll boost it and cut it so you can hear it. It's this knob here. You'll start to hear it come up and see how it fights with the vocal.
I saw you there, pain in your eyes.
So then I just cut it. It's called Seek and
Too
Destroy.
cold to care, too hard to cry. Well, I'd been.
Okay, so you can notice that just that EQ move. So if you saw it on screen, this is what it would look like. So let me make active this. It would be something like this that I'm doing. I just like the smoothness of the hardware. We still use hardware. It doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't mean you can't be creative without it. You know, people. I don't want to get into that debate, but yeah, it was right up in this range, like 4 to 600, really carving out. And if I put that on, let me just do this. Let me take off this, put the plugin on. Now you're just going to see the plugin.
I saw you there, pain in your eyes.
No plugin.
Too cold to care,
Getting rid of all that hollowness.
too hard to cry. Well, I'd been
Okay, so now hardware,
wrecked
still body,
and scared.
still a better acoustic.
The waves turned you over, they splintered your side.
Beautiful.
Crashed on.
Okay, so that was the first thing we did. So this is being mixed right now, so I thought this would be a cool time to do this. So let me pan over to these. Hopefully I can get on the screen and make these. Oh yeah, you got meters for days right there, boys. Let me just zoom out a touch. But actually that's pretty cool. Wow, what a shot, huh? So these are vintage, man. So you're gonna see the right one here, but this is going on in stereo. Um, yeah. So the next thing that I wanted to do is get get the synth to sit in space with the acoustic. So let's mute the vocal, but it's like, okay, how do I use dynamics? So check this out. So what you're gonna see on screen is you're gonna see the 3A running. And what I'm going to do here, so you don't get confused because it's a constant insert, is let's do it without it. Let me just mute this. So this is what you're hearing when it gets loud. Okay, so let me put the acoustic in. So now let me do it with the vocal. So this is everything. So actually, this is before anything. So I got some EQ going on the SSL.
Well, I'd been there, wrecked.
Okay, something just wasn't sitting right, so I wanted to get it some more energy, but then it sort of takes over the vocal. So I wanted to maintain that background image, and that's what I'm going to use the 3A's for. So you're going to hear it without.
Well, I'd been there, wrecked and scared.
Okay, so now we're going to activate these bad boys, and watch how it just tucks to the back.
Well, I'd been there, wrecked and scared. The waves turn you.
So I did it drastic so you can hear it. Like, don't pay attention to volume because it'll totally mess you up. It still has that same impact, but now it has this sort of euphoric, like like atmospheric vibe. Like it just cut a lot. Look at dude, you're talking 7 decibels. Let me cut it back a little bit, not as drastic so you can hear it and do it again. So I would say not as much, maybe 4. Let's go. Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Well, I've been there, wrecked and scared.
Let's split the difference. I'm just doing this for sound demo purpose. Like I do want it really to crush it and get it out of the way because there's so much more we got to put on the song. But check it out.
Well, I've been there, wrecked and scared.
So let me explain this real quick. So when I took everything off, you heard the initial intent of the artist, like he wanted it back. So think about that when you're mixing somebody's song, like no, I don't want to change what he's doing, but I want to bring up the frequencies that make the mix so you can hear that cool articulation of that sound, dude. It's sort of sweet. So when I mixed it, I wanted to do the same exact thing but drive it back with compression, so it's more like this. So we'll stick with where I had it.
Well, I've been there,
Now you
wrecked
can make all that out.
and scared. The waves turn you over, they splintered your side. You crashed off.
All right, so now that you're used to listening to it, I'm going to take it all off, and let you listen to it, and then kick it back in. So that's 3 A's on an insert. There's some EQ on a board, EQ, an SSL EQ, and we're taking it all out. Here we go.
Well, I've been there, wrecked and scared.
Same part, everything in. And didn't change your mix.
Well, I've been there,
Vocal up front.
wrecked and scared.
And that's how you use EQ and compression to create space. This can get deep, and like when we do a mix, man, we're really just carving away. But I think that's the thing that most people ask me, like, how'd you get it to sound like that? How'd you get this 3D image? How did you make it sound like that? And I think that's mixing. And I think when I get the question about, how did you make the vocals sound good, it really is just paying attention to the track out around the vocal. And that's why if you're a new artist, like sending the track out is super beneficial to you because if the engineer knows what they're doing, like you shouldn't be able to hear like a drastic change in me tweaking something. It should just be these subtle things because he's got a sound he wants. And then there's times where we do change it and it totally changes everything. But in this case, I'll do another follow-up video about what I did to the drum bus on this track. But yeah, it just creates that pocket, and compression is a great thing, and it's controlling that range. But you also got to hear some awesome 3A's too. So yeah, those are phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what else you can put those on. 808s, dude, they're sick. So yeah, this isn't about hardware. This video was not intended to say, "Oh, I use hardware. I use hardware." I just wanted you to hear it. So kill two birds with one stone, whatever that means. And yeah, just let you see how you create space with EQ and compression in a mix. So my name's Doug Jenkins. You can hit me up through YouTube if you want to get a hold of me to work with me and go from there. So we'll see you next time. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you.